and it's reloading real quick. And here we go. We welcome you here to episode number 8. It is the Ty Walker Show, and today is a very, very special episode as I am joined here with ARCA Menard Series and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver BRAYTON LASTER. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always a blast getting to come on and kind of tell my story, answer some questions, and get to meet fans and whatnot. So, once again, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad to have you on. So before I get into our questions, can you tell everybody watching a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so as you said, my name is Brayton Laster. I'm from Greenwood, Indiana, which is just south of Indianapolis, so pretty much central Indiana. If you don't know where Indiana is, we're up there in the Midwest. We grow a lot of corn. That's about it. We have a big race every year called the Indy 500. Not a big deal. Uh, but I currently race, like Ty here said, on the ARCA Menards platform and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series part time. So I've been running for about 12, 13 years or so, from dirt late models to front wheel drives to everything else in between, and school buses and whatnot. And then I've been running a lot of ARCA stuff and truck stuff the past couple of years, and kind of gotten some big breaks here and there, and kind of going, with what I'm thrown at as far as rides and opportunities, and just try to make the most of it. I like pizza. I like pizza to cook, so this is my moment right here.
I mean,
Um,
they do call you the pizza man.
that is true. Yes, I like pizza a lot, and so it's kind of stuck with me. And people were like, "Hey, it's a pizza guy," so decided to make it my brand.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys are ever watching the Arkham and Art series, he is the guy with the pizza helmet. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. So my first question for you: what made you want to become a NASCAR driver or just a race car driver? Period.
Yeah, I never really planned on doing the whole NASCAR thing or even the ARCA thing. I never planned on making it anywhere near this level of competition. And it was a fluke. My dad grew up racing, like Sat- Saturday night hobby shows for the most part around central Indiana, and doing some outlaw figure eight, some street stock and front wheel drive stuff. And it kind of got older, and I was kind of growing up. I was 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm like, hey dad, let's go try racing. And my dad asked if I wanted to. I'm like, yeah, we'll try it. And we went go karting for a couple of years, and pretty much from that point I was hooked. I love the concept of speed. I love the concept of going fast. And it just kind of evolved. I went from I was racing front wheel drive, basically like a street car at the age of 12. Um, I'm sorry, not at the age of 15, but at the age of 12, I was racing full size Thunderbird or Thunder cars, or like a street stock, like a hobby stock. So I had a 1977 Ford Thunderbird at the age of 12, racing against 30, 40, 50-year-old guys, and then from there I did some front wheel drive stuff, and also at the age of 15, I made the move to super dirt late models, and that's kind of where I've been the past 5 or so years since 2018. First ever year trying. I got rookie of the year at my local short track, Brownstown Speedway in Brownstown, Indiana. And then 2 years ago, we kind of got an opportunity to go down and test an ARCA car at Daytona in January of 22. And from that point on, it's kind of clicked. Um, we raced quite a bit locally. We ran, I think, like 30 or so times last year, from front wheel drives and outlaw figure eight cars and dirt cars to we did. I made my truck debut last year at Knoxville with my dirt background. We were real happy with that. We started 31st, finished 27th, not a scratch on it. Pretty respectable run, especially the caliber of equipment we were in. And
Yeah.
excuse me, and then we ran ARCA Daytona Talladega last year, and we ran Daytona again this year in the ARCA platform. We're looking to hopefully do a couple more starts throughout the season, and hopefully this month. And I'm kind of hinting at something, kind of not, but we'll see what happens.
My next question I got for you: who was your inspiration that got you into racing?
Um, definitely my dad. My dad was kind of my role model growing up, my ride over the whole racing thing. He pretty much was like he took me under his wing pretty much. I'd always go to the track and hang out with him. From the day I could pretty much walk, and have my mom or somebody there. Watching, supporting me, making sure I didn't like burn myself, hurt myself while he was out on track. So kind of watching him grow up and whatnot was pretty neat. As far as the NASCAR side of things, I was a huge Jimmy Johnson fan growing up. So obviously, love my man Jimmy.
Oh man, you're already one step ahead of my next question when you saying Jimmy Johnson was your favorite. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and move on to that next one. What would you What would you say to any young kid aspiring to become a NASCAR driver? What advice would you give them?
Go find an uncle or a grandma or a grandpa and hope they're rich, and you'll be set for life. If you don't, hope you got some talent, something. It's a tough sport. It's a exhausting sport, and you're going to use pretty much every tool in your book, every weapon in your arsenal, and you're going to sacrifice a lot trying to make it big, and it's hard for a small grassroots guy kind of try and make it at this level, but it's still possible. So you got to persevere. You got to keep up with it.
Well, I want to get into a couple of fun questions now, and our final two questions I got for you. My first one of the fun ones is, if you could pick any sponsor, what would it be? Like any sponsor that you think of.
So obviously my pizza background, I love pizza, love pizza. So it'd definitely be a pizza brand. I'm not really too particular, although I'd probably have to go with Casey's, the general store. Um, with you guys being from Missouri, I'm assuming around that area. Casey's, I'm
Yeah,
sure, is pretty big around there. So
yeah.
at least I think it is. So yeah, it's pretty. It'd be a pretty sweet gig if I can get Casey's on board for even one race, and that'd be my dream sponsor per se.
Yeah, well, I know. There's a video I saw about that you wanted to try to get Little Caesars to be a sponsor.
We tried. We did not succeed,
Yeah,
unfortunately, but
yeah. Well, my final question for you is: besides racing, do you like any other sports?
football. Growing up around Indiana and whatnot. Um, Baseball's kind of a big deal here. New IndyCar is kind of a big deal with still racing. But growing up, I kind of took a liking to football. I don't know why, especially the past couple of years. I played football probably 7, 8 years ago in middle school, and I was terrible at it. I'm terrible at racing. I'm terrible at football. I just decided to go with racing, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's kind of fun, being a Colts fan and sitting there crying every weekend as we somehow learn and figure out new ways to blow a 30-point lead. So it's always
Yeah,
interesting being a Colts fan, but we make it interesting, I guess.
I bet last year you were happy when you beat my team.
Yeah, we somehow pull a Mickey Mouse win about once a season. So
Yeah. So I know you said that you did play football even though it didn't go well. What position did you play?
I was the guy next to center. I don't know what it's called. I want to say tackle. I was tackle or a guard. But I'm the guy there next to center. I was an offensive lineman
That
pretty much. I just tackled
that'd be
whoever.
that would be the guard position.
Yes, so I was a
Um,
guard, and I would just tackle whoever had to tackle pretty much. They'd be like, I get that guy. I'm like, I got that guy. And that was about how it went.
okay, so with you saying you like baseball, what do you think is your World Series predictions right now since baseball season going on?
Um, Definitely not the Oakland A's. I'd love to see the Cubs pull something out of the hat. My mom is a Cubs fan. Um, but I'm a bit of a Pittsburgh guy. I'm not really sure who's going to do what. It's going to be interesting. It seems no one's really dominating too much this season. So it'd be interesting and whatnot to see who kind of comes out ahead. But right now, I'm not really too sure who's going to come out on top. But I'm rooting for a Cubs World Series. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously my team sucks. I'm a Kansas City Royals fan. We haven't been relevant for a while.
That's a tough one to hear.
Yeah, and I guess since you said you're a Colts fan, the draft was a couple of days ago, and obviously tomorrow we're going to continue our draft coverage. We're going to go to our normal stuff tomorrow. But I guess how did you think about the Colts draft?
I think it
Yep.
was pretty
Yes.
solid. We took one pick late, and I think it was like a fourth round pick, and we ended up making like 5 or 6 picks throughout the later rounds. And we took like one pick and traded it for two. Then we took one of those two and traded it for two. Then we took one of those two and traded it for two. So we had a pretty solid. I feel like towards the end of the draft. We took a new QB, which is gonna be interesting. Hopefully, he works out. Um, I'm not really sure. I don't really look too much into those guys coming up and whatnot. I'm not sure who's going to be great, who's going to be good, who's going to be terrible, who's going to be the next Ryan Leaf. I don't know. But I think overall, the Colts did a pretty solid job. I can't wait to go 4-12 this year again.
Yeah, I hope I hope the Colts don't go 4-12. I'm rooting for the Colts. Um, I think that they'll be pretty good with Anthony
I'm
Richardson.
hoping.
By the way, backstage, my football co-host actually put a question backstage in the private chat. I don't know if you want to answer this or not, but I guess this is answer. If you don't want to answer it, it's fine. But he said, "How much money do you make?"
I have $12 in my bank account right now. That's how much money
12
I
bucks in
got.
the bank
Okay.
account.
So
Hey,
we
that's a
did
lot more than I got.
some races. You sacrifice every nickel and dime and penny you got to try and make it to this level. So Um, it's exhausting. It's a lot of sacrifices. I eat a lot of ramen noodles for dinner. I know I don't look like it, but it's a tough one. It's a tough career to try to make it in.
I also see backstage in the private chat. He put EU Colts. My co-host for football. He's a Jaguars fan, so
Oh, I'm
I
sorry to
imagine you
hear
guys
that.
have a little
Oh,
rivalry.
I'm sorry to hear that. I won't hold it against you.
Oh, well, Brayton, thank you for joining me here today. Um, and I hope everything goes well in NASCAR, and I hope you can
Yep.
make it to the
Thank
Cup
you.
Series one day.
I hope so. It'd be awesome. I doubt I do, but it'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. If you make it to the Cup Series, I'll be rooting for you.
I appreciate it.
I will switch favorite drivers because I'm a Chase Elliott fan, but I will switch favorite drivers to become a fan of you.
I appreciate it. So once again, though, thank you for having me. It was a blast coming on and getting to talk. So thank you for that. And to your co-host, tell him he can suck it.
Hey, Casey's, if you're somehow watching this, hey, give this man a sponsor. Sponsor his car. That'd be cool. But thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, give him a call. Give him a call. As we're going to go ahead and switch on to our next part of the show here, as we're going to bring on my football guy here, Trev Productions, to talk about our second part of the show here. Yeah, that wasn't our only part of the show here today, as we have a little bit more we're going to talk about here today, as Trev Productions is going to come on. There we go. What's up, Trev?
What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This Colts fan who finished 4-12-1 can't be talking saying sucking. Ain't no way. Bro, I was like, when he said that his team sucks. And you're gonna root for him?
You still going to root for him, though?
No, you're gonna root for them. You said.
Yeah, I'm still going to root for him. I'm still going to root for him. I don't hate the Colts, even though they beat us this past year. I don't hate it. I don't hate the Colts, though. I don't hate the Jags either, though.
Yeah, how the hell did you guys choke that bad?
I don't know. But let's go ahead and get to our second part of the show. Jerick McKinnon finally got re-signed. I mean, amazing. At the time we're recording this, there's still no details on how many years, how much money he got. There's still no details on that. All we know is that Jerick McKinnon is back. It was first recorded by Field Yates and then was made official by the Kansas City Chiefs themselves. We still don't know the official contract, but we do know Jerick McKinnon's back. How do you feel about that?
I was about to say, they didn't re-sign him. That was going to be a mistake. They definitely got themselves in. But, I don't... I guess it's okay.
Oh, just okay. Just okay.
I mean, yeah, but I just
He
don't
was a
think.
he was a he was an 800-yard back last year. Now, I will say one thing about McKinnon. He will be 31 going into this next season. Um,
Exactly.
there was a lot of big things about some fifth-year options. Three big players from three different teams had their fifth-year options declined. One of those being the Chiefs declining fifth-year option on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What do you think about that? I think it's expected. I expect it to happen.
That was pretty obvious.
I mean, it is a loaded running back room right now. I mean, Pacheco's there. We just now re-signed McKinnon. We brought in a outstanding undrafted free agent. I don't know how this guy went undrafted. Deneric Prince. I mean, man, this man is a Pacheco 2.0. He is amazing. I still don't know how this guy went undrafted. Next up, another guy that got their fifth-year option decline. I was surprised when this happened. Patrick Queen of the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think about that one, Trev?
Who are they going to have to replace him? They got rid of C.J. Mosley. Now they're not going to re-sign Patrick Queen? What is this?
Yeah. Next up, the Arizona Cardinals declined their fifth-year option on Isaiah Simmons. What do you think about that?
Wait, what position is Isaiah Simmons again? Linebacker?
Linebacker.
Okay. Hey, Isaiah, I have a perfect place for you to eat in Jacksonville. I'm just saying.
Hey, we don't need linebackers, so you guys can have them. And our final thing of the show today is Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Though they declined the fifth-year option, there was a deal made that was a one-year contract extension. So it technically is a fifth-year option, but just not as much money as what the fifth-year option would be. The fifth-year option would give Jordan Love over $20 million. They instead went a different route and just gave him a one-year extension worth $13.5 million. What do you think about this?
Okay. First of all, let me just backtrack like a few moments ago. I was kidding about the Isaiah Simmons thing. I really don't want him. But anyways, back to Jordan Love. I guess that was a smart move by the Packers, but I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think Jordan Love will be a good player.
Really? I mean, he was a first-round pick.
Well, how?
He was a first-round pick out of Utah State.
Yeah. He's not going to be good in the NFL.
Okay, that's what you. I guess that's what you think. But the reason why they didn't go with the full fifth-year option is just Green Bay hasn't seen it really enough on him because Aaron Rodgers been playing quarterback for how long? How long it's been?
Ayo, get that Colts fan back here. I want to say some stuff.
He's already gone. He's already gone.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in my Discord server though. He's in the Discord server. So, I mean, there was a reason why they didn't give him the fifth-year option though. He just really hasn't seen him play. I mean, he's only played one full game as pros. So, I mean, I think it's understandable why they didn't give him a fifth-year option. But that's all for today's show. Once again, I want to give a big thanks to Brayton LASTER for joining me on today. I also want to thank my normal co-host, Trev Productions. We'll get back to our normal episodes tomorrow as we're going to hope to get Underrated Prod on tomorrow. If he's not able to come on tomorrow, we'll talk draft again. We're just going to go more in depth on the Chiefs picks than what we did those last 2 days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, thanks to Brayden and thanks for Trev for joining me today. And I'm Ty Walker, and see ya.